completion of what is a question of law, whether it meets the
claim. You don't have to believe it, you don't have to buy it. But looking at
anything else? I see some money from
Then ask Mr. Elliott, do you agree with it? Basically. And I don't think that's
he had video showing them how their son died.
or accusing myriad law enforcement officials
From you, yes, in other words, Your
I
Honor.
think that would be irrelevant.
Well,
The attorney's fees are from when it starts. That it? Anything else? I see some money from
then ask Mr. Elliott, do you agree with it? Basically. And I don't think that's
he had video showing them how their son died.
or accusing myriad law enforcement officials
From you, yes, in other words, Your
I
Honor.
think that would be irrelevant.
Well,
The attorney's fees are
Greetings. Today is another strange day in the courtroom here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, Georgia, in the KJ family paying possibly the attorney fees for dealing with the death of their son. To skip right along, I don't want to go into too much of what you already know, but today the court proceedings dealing with Judge Richard Porter, in my most humble opinion, took a turn for the worse. And I'm sorry that I should have to say this. I don't like saying this, but I'm going to say it. Shaveen King at one point paused, mentioned to the judge that he had a possible ailment starting Sunday, but he came to court anyway. And he mentioned to the judge that his wife is a physician and that whatever his problems are, I'm not even going to put it on here because I don't want to. But whatever condition he had, I guess his wife, they was trying to resolve it by taking medicine or pills. But he had a scheduled appointment for tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I think it was, and the judge pretty near told him that you could have told me about this earlier in the week. I had just heard Shaveen King state that he didn't know about whether he was going to do this or not. He stated it twice, but the judge came back and said it again. You should have told me earlier. Well, he went further to say, the judge said, I am willing to stay late this evening, and will you complete Attorney Edwards' questioning? Shaveen King, in the final analysis, said, I'll do all I can, but if you know Shaveen, he don't get in a hurry because he want to represent his clients. And so, Shaveen King, once again, I think that he was very distraught. It hurt my heart to know that King was serious about whatever his conditions are. The judge even made a statement that he too have this same type of problem. But he said, but you should have taken care of it or let me know about it earlier. So the short form was, before we went to lunch, the judge was saying that he was not going to make any arrangements. And I watched Shaveen King stand in the courtroom, and he paused there. He didn't get rude with the judge, but it got pretty pointed. And so I didn't agree with ignoring a person with a medical condition like that, but be that as it may. Be that as it may. Bottom line is that I wish that more people from the city of Valdosta, I wish that the news media could have been here. The mainstream news media had been here. We was here Monday, Tuesday, and today is Wednesday. And it seemed as if though this segment or part of the KJ case is unimportant. It's like people in Valdosta do not want to know what is going on in these in acquiring these attorney fees and whether the family should pay them or not. But be that as it may, I want to thank God for Kendrick Johnson's parents and those surrounding him that are willing to come and sit in the courtroom, because it often looked like it's just about their son. But there are over 3,000 children attending Lowndes County High School, and this could happen to anybody. Now, if nothing comes out of all of this, I know that the family and the good citizens of Valdosta, the state of Georgia, and America can at least say, thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Grandma English, Grandfather Eddie, for standing up. Because if you had not stood up, they wouldn't have known about a botched investigation, a botched crime scene, a botched system of acquiring records through the Open Records Act that was blocked. They wouldn't know how hard it is to go out and do an investigation. I walk with the investigators for the KJ family. I walk the streets here in Valdosta. And as a result, I am under a 3-year, 4-month criminal trespass for not violating the law. And so I too have learned something. I've learned how God will put you in the mix to ensure that you do not leave before or after 6. So I'm still in the mix. And regardless of what people say, I am determined to have some government agency or some law enforcement agency to remove me in writing from this illegal, unjustified, disgraceful criminal trespass here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, the state of Georgia, and in the United States of America. I violated no law. I went to the sheriff's department. I talked to Sheriff Pride. I'm not going to tell you what he say because it's already on video. I went to the CID, the Criminal Investigative Department. They had nothing on me. The sheriff eventually, after I requested in writing, he don't have nothing on me. I wrote a letter to the school superintendent, West Taylor. They don't have anything on me, but yet they got me under criminal trespass, and I have the audio. I have several audio tapes, different ones. I even took audio statements from witnesses that witnessed them put me under it. But now they say they have nothing at all on me. So the question is, how in the state of Georgia can a human being be stopped and banned from public property and they violated no law? I told you all, you're losing your rights. You're losing them. But some of you don't seem to care, and some of you thank God gonna work it out and you don't have to do nothing for yourself. Let me close out. When we came back after lunch, Judge Richard Porter said to Shaveen King, I have reconsidered, and I will not have court tomorrow. That was right after lunch. And I said to myself, I'm glad you redeemed yourself. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I was going to be pretty hard on this video, but I cut a little slack now, because this is what he should have done in the first place. Now, I'm not a judge, and it's amazing how these white lawyers seem to have superiority. They seem like they all are friends. They seem like they're in a clique and among the slicks. Now, I know I shouldn't say that. I don't feel comfortable in saying that. But they feel comfortable in showing that in the courtroom. Everybody is looking at these attorneys, looking at their friendship or relationship with the judge. Only God knows how this thing could turn out if there was a jury trial. and the jury see this like brothers from the same lodge or brothers from the same church. It just don't look good in the eyes of the public. I've had people to come and tell me about it, but I'm telling you about it because you have a right to know. Now let me close. As I said, I went to the sheriff's department, I went to the criminal investigative department, I went to the probate judge, I went to Superior Court, District Attorney David Miller's office. I left there. Then I went to the federal courts, and they ran my name. They said, there's nothing on you. And at each level of law enforcement and government, you know what they said to me? How could they do that? Then, when I went to the Justice Department in Atlanta, and when I told them what Reverend Robinson said, that superintendent told him, and we got it recorded, we got it recorded, we got him recorded. We got it recorded, and it's already on YouTube. Because we want you to know the truth. Because you cannot become free until truth comes. And so what we did, I talked to somebody, Justice Department in Atlanta, and when they said they was working something on me, and that they found something in my record, and I told them there ain't a damn thing in my record but what they want to put in my record. Ain't no drugs in my car, but those that they may plant on me in the future. So I want y'all to get ready for that. So if something happened, you'll be ready to do what must be done to show the wickedness, of this democratic system here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, the state of Georgia, and in the United States of America. But don't threaten and don't worry about what's happening, because in the end, truth, right, and justice will win. One more. I even went to the Department of Justice with this. Eric Holder of the Department of Justice. I have also gone to other areas. I'm getting ready to write the United Nations, because here I am. I violated no law, but I served this country for 21 years. So now, I'll leave you by saying this. Where's the news media? Why is it that when problems and situations arise in the black community, there's no news media? Why, wait a minute, I heard that. I heard you thinking. You thinking that I'm just acting. Well, I challenge you, without me going into detail, because I've already over-documented it. Lula Smart in Brooks County, one of the Quitman 10+2, had a 19-day court case dealing with voter rights and violating voting laws, which all 119 to 200 violations was dropped by the state of Georgia. Dropped. No news media was in the courtroom, not one day. No ABC, no CBS, no WALB. And then when the verdict came down from the jury, people was rejoicing outside of the courtroom, and they called the TV stations. Listen, they called the TV stations, and they did not come. I'm telling y'all, you can criticize me, but somebody got to do what the founding fathers of this republic said we should do. And that is, well, I'm gonna let Bobby Worthy tell you that, because he'll tell you more better than I am. Look, he gonna tell you about a government when it no longer works on your behalf. Bobby Worthy, this is the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You was here all 3 days. What happened in the courtroom, and what you think about the case? They stopped. They said it may not go back to November. So fill the people in, because it don't seem like the news media have done a very good job in covering this, from my point of view.
Okay. Well, as you said, we've been in court quite a while, since Monday, since the court started. I wasn't in the court today very long. I had another appointment. I came late, but I just got informed what happened today from George's interview. To me, I think I'm really thinking the judge is really thinking about these absurd attorney fees, well out of bounds. We do know, and I'm not going to say because it hadn't been brought out in court yet, but we do know one of the agencies have paid out some of the money, one of the local agency, government agency. I have that in writing, and I have presented it to the attorney that they paid some money out in debt, but not all completely. But like I said, they're not going to get the attorney fees out. They don't.
Don't bet on it.
Yeah.
Don't bet on it.
Well, don't bet on it. Well, I mean, I'm assuming from what the judge say, if he's a man of his word.
I've seen him say one thing and do another, but go ahead with your story. Sorry to interrupt you, but the truth is the truth.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, they can say one thing and do another. But it does seem like to me that there is some kind of favoritism. And I like to say it like this: favoritism or racism. You be the judge. Favoritism because maybe the judge knows all these attorneys. He allowed, since I've been involved in this trial, I have noticed that the judge has allowed these 8 white attorneys to run the courtroom. I mean, actually run it. I see them swear themselves in on the stand.
Have you ever seen that done before?
I never in my life seen a witness swear himself in. They said because he's an officer of the court. That's bull junk. That's bull. I'm here to tell you that. Because the law is clear on this. They say any witness, before they can give testimony in the court of law, they must be sworn in. They give testimony. But I've never seen that before. A witness with an attitude at that swear itself in. And I'm gonna say it. Jim Elliott, the Lowndes County Sheriff Department's attorney, has been very rude, obnoxious, and just disrespectful to Attorney King. And without pause, without hesitation, Attorney King, Shavine being the man he is, he read on in testimony, submitted his evidence, and went right on, even with the judge, didn't agree with it. But it does seem like the judge is catering to all the other needs, allowing these attorneys to say, do what they want from the witness stand, act like they want in the courthouse, just whenever they want to. I've seen attorneys in this courtroom object to things that Attorney King was saying. Attorney King went right on. The judge sit there and don't say nothing. You can't rule on the objection. It has to be the judge. I've seen these attorneys here numerous times does that. Maybe that's how they do it.
So what you're saying is that they wouldn't let us in the courtroom because if they would have let the news media in the courtroom, the people could see what you're talking about. They wouldn't have to take your word for it. They wouldn't have to take my word for it. They wouldn't have to take the pastor's word for it in Waycross or Larry O'Hara or the brother from Clayton who talked about he saw the judge sleeping in the courtroom. You've said it from day one. In fact, every case that the Honorable Judge Richard Porter has presided in, he's been asleep in the courtroom. And yet, because maybe, I'm not saying this is the case, but there's a great possibility that this may be why you don't want no cameras in the courtroom. There have been more high-profile cases than they had cameras in the courtroom, and so that might be why the news media, WSB came the other time. They wouldn't let them in the courtroom, so they ain't been back. So I didn't mean to take so long, but it just, I want people to understand that whatever you say here today could have been documented on the news media TV camera. They wouldn't let us in the courtroom. But I understand that you started trying to do something about that. What did you do about that?
Well, I filed a open records request because I did find out in the cameras inside the courtroom. It's about 3 to 4 cameras in every courtroom. And I found out these cameras are on. Thus, I filed an open records request to get a copy of each one of those hearings that's been involved with the Johnson family, and then you will see the truth for yourself. If those cameras are working and if they give me one. But if they don't give them to me, it's going to be hell to pay, and they're going to have to answer to somebody why I ain't got them. But as I said, he was right. Judge Porter sleeping in the court. Then this makes me understand. If he did it in the Johnson case, who to say if a man is up for his life? I think the Judicial Qualification Commission, the state, the U.S. Attorney General, all of them need to come in and pull the records on this whole tape or wherever his judicial circuit at and see how many times during key testimony that this judge was up on the stand, sleep. And I know if he did it here, he'd do it in every case that he's been involved in.
Jackie, the mother of KJ, she told me yesterday she didn't want to go on the camera, I guess, because of her attorney, and that's good. I'm not going to let her go against that. But she said that every time he go to sleep, she was trying to get him, and she was documenting the time, each time that he went to sleep. I got some of them reported myself. But my thing is that today, it surprised me because he took a pretty long nap today. And that really got me. I just looked at that one with his mouth was open. his head was leaned back, but he was asleep, sure enough asleep. And so now, if we know about this, and if we don't say anything, then how in the world can we send our sons off to war and talk about freedom of the press and freedom of religion and the right to vote and all this kind of jazz? It seems like something is happening to our rights, but the people in America are either going to sleep at the wheel or done train wreck somewhere in space. Now, go back to your point about what you've seen in the courtroom that's not typical for to be done in a court of law.
Well, mainly the trial attorneys, the defense attorney, the 8 white attorneys have basically led this case, not the judge. The judge is supposed to be the overseer, the dictator of the courtroom. He the ruler of the courtroom, but he has sit back and allowed these attorneys to do, say what they want, act like they want, with attitudes, get smart, and just disrespect Attorney King and even the court itself.
Let me interrupt you right here. Today, Attorney Turner kept saying negative things about Shaveen King, and they'd been doing it. But today it was like as if though King couldn't take it no more. And he didn't talk to the judge. He told Attorney Turner, here's what he said: I recommend that you cease now. He said cease. I guess you can define that for me. He said, I want you to cease from that, from referring to me and what I'm doing as a shenanigan. He said, I want you to stop. And so he said it with power. And I think the people in the courtroom could feel his pain. And he'd been very patient throughout. But it seemed like he just got tired of it. Then the judge responded and said to King, I expect both of you to be professionals. I'm quoting what he said. I got it documented. Both of y'all to be professional. Well, King have never done what they've done. I don't even see why he would make a statement like that, say both of you, when King never did that. But it threw him in the same box with everybody. And I'm gonna tell you, I wish to God that there would be a law in the state of Georgia that would force these judges to allow all high-profile court cases such as KJ case to be recorded and not banned from the general public.
And it's possible there may be a law, that's why they got courtroom cameras, but we, as most people and black folks, I made to say it, is uneducated and informed that we can look and see they got cameras all over the courtroom. Anything that's on these cameras inside and out, you have a right to get a copy to, because that's public record.
Well, it seemed like it should be, but they're changing laws every day now. They are taking away our rights. Look at me. I'm still gonna say it. 3 months, 3 years, and 4 months under a criminal trespass for not violating the law, and not one that's why I'm going to the United Nations. Nobody in the United States will even address my issue. And I don't know whether you know it or not, but you read in the paper the other day wherein somebody said, you're already in the United Nations, Great Britain talked about it, that how they're killing blacks here in this country, and the United Nations done weighed out in. So I'm going to the United Nations with my situation.
Well, that's what informed. I don't know if you heard me maybe a month ago, that we are in the process of compiling a complaint to the United Nations to charge the United States government for murder charges against blacks, brutality, assassination, and basically attacking the immigrations and naturalization laws. Because when it comes to those laws, we have been uneducated through black, and I'll just explain one. There's nowhere in the Constitution that said black folks are citizens. Nowhere in the Constitution. What it says is the 14th Amendment, and the 14th Amendment was never properly rectified by Congress. Thus, the 14th Amendment does not say we are citizens, it says we are aliens of African descent.
Well, explain one more level to me, my beautiful brother. Brother, you get criticized sometimes, just like me. But not this country yet where it is today because of freedom fighters, including white right people. I met a white guy last night. I ain't gonna tell you where he was. Let me say this. Did you know what the white guy said last night? He said he was from Washington, D.C. And he said, you George Ballslam? I said, yeah. He said, I've been watching your video. I probably don't watch every one that you put up. And he told me, just like the white guy that told me over there from the Georgia military about 2 years ago. He's a young man, gave me a big contribution. Said, you keep doing what you're doing, because if we don't stand up in this country, we are going to lose all our rights. So I made a friend last night, And I'm hoping that this friend, he from Washington, D.C., he now live somewhere in this area. I ain't gonna tell you who he is because he just, I call him a good white right person. And people don't understand. A lot of professors at BSU, I used to go to potluck with them. They like me for what I'm doing. A lot of white people across the nation love what I'm doing. And yet they gonna try to make all white folks dislike me because I'm standing up like you stand up and like others, include some of the pastors, not all of them, but they are standing up for the best of our democracy. And I served 21 years. And it's not about black and white, but it's more about right and wrong.
That's right.
On you.
And forgot about not just the white folks, the white right folks, the right white wrong folks.
Yes, sir.
Right. The black right wrong and right folks.
That's true.
Because we got them. We call them bootlickers, Uncle Tom, Chicken Joe's, Thomasinus, and Toms, Uncle Toms.
I want you to drop this on the people. Now, we know that over in Douglas, Olivia Coley Pearson, they're trying to drive her out of office. That's all it's about. They tried to get her for voting fraud. We now got the Douglas Ford. But what I want you to talk about, don't say no, don't expose what has happened. But is there not a group of people now that have gotten together? They're going from county to county, from area to area, to connect the dots. And even to the point of the district attorneys who's sitting back and watching all this go on and doing nothing about it. Is there not people now coming together to try to get this to a larger scale, because local entities, including the state of Georgia, seem not to give a damn?
Yes, there's a group, and they're going around and have a meeting. Another meeting. This is going to be.
Don't tell them too much. Don't tell them.
I'm going to tell you too much, but it's coming in Waycross. But there's a group that's going around. You can contact George or myself. Just go on Facebook. I'm pretty sure if y'all watch me, if you're interested in getting involved or getting in with this group to attack these people. I'm like this. I'm going to say it. I have said it many times. My knowledge and my understanding of the law, that's what I'm going to use. That's what I'm going to push, and that's what I'm going to go after. If I'm going to sue, because that's the only thing that people understand. And I used to say all white people, but it's mostly white people because they're the one running everything. But it's black folks too. So I'm here to tell you, I'm going to sue till you get tired of being sued. And if that don't work, sue you till you go bankrupt. If that don't work, then I'm going to sue your mama for having you. I'm just being honest.
In closing, if you can, Brunswick, Georgia. Francis Johnson went over there, and I mean, just give. You're gonna close it out by what you say now. I'm not gonna say. I'm not even gonna close it out. What I want you to say now. We went to Brunswick. The NAACP president went there. We got another black brother over there who's a warrior. He remind me of Malcolm X. Mention his name because I know he don't care. And we probably next 3 weeks gonna meet with him and interview him. But what is the case in Brunswick, short form, and close it out? I'm not gonna say nothing.
Well, the case in Brunswick is the way the public defenders and with handling the public defender's office and the fraud and deception, everything that's going on in Brunswick Judicial Circuit. This would even include the federal level on the Brunswick 19, where all these people was arrested without a warrant, without a supporting affidavit. But basically, Mr. Zach Larry, he is a warrior, been a warrior alone. He even stood up to President Johnson with the NAACP on what his views and what he thought. And it was good. He debated it, and he was on point. And I just hate to say it. I love him.
And he a Vietnam veteran.
Yeah, and Vietnam veteran. And I just love, don't get me wrong, I love President Johnson. But as the NAACP president, I feel he could, as him being the NAACP Georgia State Conference president, I feel he can do more. I feel he can participate in more. And I know he has his own practice, and he has to fulfill his clients and all that. But to all the NAACP, SLC, and all of them, I see all these people can do more than what they're doing. I have been involved at one point with all of them. And we all can do more. Even I can do more. And I'm going to tell you now, if I had Donald Trump, I didn't say that loud, Donald Trump, the Trump money, if I had his money, I would go broke to bring the government to their knees.
And then combining with Kendrick's lengthy and extensive federal investigation, there were things that had to be done.
Greetings. This is the Get To Free Press, George Foster Vines, and of course, today we journey into the courtrooms in the Valdosta Lowndes County Judicial Complex. This particular case dealing with the legal fees of attorneys and suits against the KJ family. Mr. Worthy from Justice League United was once again here in the courtroom. How you doing today?
I'm good.
What do you think about the case today and the progression of it and how it's going?
Well, it's going. I don't think it's really going the way the attorneys think it's going to go.
Well, the first thing I want to address is that we ended up the testimonies from the sheriff's department, right?
The sheriff department,
We also ended up with who else?
Lowndes County.
The county.
We'll return back tomorrow with the county, continue on the county.
With the
Lowndes
county.
County School Board.
Okay, that's the school.
Yeah, Lowndes County High
But
School.
the sheriff department is finished.
Sheriff department is finished.
And so, the attorney for the school will be back tomorrow.
Yes.
Now, to the people who don't attend this case, they won't know nothing about it. Have you seen anything in the newspaper, on TV about what's
No.
going on in this case?
Nothing. Only reporter there is George Boston Brown with the Get Over Free Press. You. Nobody else is coming. Nobody reporting. The judge, the judge went to sleep again multiple times. It seems that nobody cares about what's going on or what they're trying to do in the Kendrick Johnson case. For the attorney fees, CB again was awesome. Attorney for the Johnson family, pounding them with evidence after evidence and phase after phase, and I still think the judge kind of trying to rush him through. But CB pays it no attention and just go and do what he got to do.
Okay. How is Jackie responding in the case? Is she strong, or how do you think she's handling?
Oh yeah, Miss Jackie holding up. She's a soldier. She's holding up. She's angry. She wants justice for her son. She's holding on in that courthouse. Never bowing down. Never backing up.
Okay. And so this is about the third or fourth gathering concerning the attorney fees assessment against the family. But would you say that some of the fees and the way that they figured them is being questioned even by the judge?
Oh yeah, he definitely questioning the attorney fees. Now he's being more alert. He's actually following the documentation, and he's even stopping and intervening and asking questions, even correcting the attorneys. Listen, you need to just answer the question. We don't need an explanation. Answer the question and move on.
What do you think about the mannerism of Jim Elliott on the stand?
Jim Elliott to me is very disrespectful. He is very dominating, and I don't know if it's inattention on the judge's point or the judge is not paying attention. He allows the attorneys to run, basically the defense attorneys to run the courtroom. He's not telling them, hey, okay, we don't need the attitude, answer the question. He's not, especially with Jim Elliott. Jim Elliott he got mad several times during testimony, angry, got smart. I don't know what the problem is with the judge and Jim Elliott, because he's never correcting Jim Elliott, even running to the court. Even today when he swore in, he had an attitude by swearing himself in. I don't think that's appropriate. I think somebody else should have swore him in. I don't think he should have swore himself in. Even when he did that, he had an attitude. So.
That's the first time I'd ever seen somebody swear themselves in.
Yes.
But what do you think about the exchange between Shaveen King and about the? He said he delivered some. He delivered some kind of paper subpoena to.
Yeah.
And do you know what that was about?
Well, yeah, he said he delivered the subpoena to Jim Elliott.
Him who?
Shaveen King, the attorney for the Johnson family, delivered the subpoena. I believe Jim Elliott was lying. I believe the judge knew he was lying, and the judge ordered him to turn over those receipts of how much that has been paid already in the Kendrick Johnson case. So he ordered him to turn over those fees, to turn over the receipts. So CB should have them by tomorrow, if he don't have them already in his email.
So that got to be a pretty bad exchange there for a minute, didn't it?
Yeah, because Jim Elliott stood up, lied. CB told his story, of course, which was more believable than Jim Elliott. And like he said, he could have took a few minutes or more and just grabbed those the subpoenas that CB put in and answered CB. And he could have been answered that subpoena. He was just being sarcastic, trying to be smart. And then again, to me, toward Jim Elliott, it seems like him and the judges, some kind of friends, or good friends, and that, because he never questions his attitude, the way his aura, the things he do. He can say anything he want when he want and get smart with Shaveen King. Shaveen King never breaks stride. He just goes right on at him and keeps striving, putting that information down on him and asking those questions.
But when Jim Elliott, Attorney Elliott, spoke of or responded to what King brought before the judge, he had the documents right there. But it seemed like he waited until the judge. It was like as if though, to me, he should have known. I mean, he had the documents.
Yeah, he should have gave them to him.
And he had copies because he was able to give everybody a copy of them. So it's amazing when you say that it's amazing how people are treated in the courtroom. Period. Just general how some people are treated.
Yeah, just general. Like I said, to me, I think something going on with the judge and Jim Elliott, because it seems like anything he do, he's allowed to run in the courtroom, operate the courtroom. He objecting to questioning, and the judge is not even ruling on his objection, just letting it go on. Well, I object. I'm not going to answer that. Or the day like the day he said, my answer is the same as before. Or he'll say, I can't recall. I mean, you giving testimony to your statements, your stuff, or you talking about you can't recall. Numerous times, multiple times, he said he can't recall at this time.
This is the second day this week, and of course it will go on tomorrow and Thursday, I think. But we did get rid of, they finished up the city, am I right?
I think the city is not finished.
Oh, really?
I think the city may come back up tomorrow. You finish up Elliott, which was the sheriff department, and you got Lowndes County School gonna finish up tomorrow. The city didn't finish their testimony up from yesterday. We had convened from yesterday. I could be wrong, but I don't think they finished up the city.
Okay, but anyway, if soon we'll have 3 of them finished.
Yes.
And after having the 3, we got what? 7 more to go, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, they're about 8.
It's 8 attorneys altogether.
Okay.
5 more.
5 more, yeah. And I don't think we'll end this week. But the point is that I will continue to ask the citizens here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, and the state of Georgia. It's just like the Quitman 10 plus 2 court case. Would you agree with me that it seems like all this news and what's going on is just not being reported?
It's not. And the judge is trying to, the judge is trying to cover up or hide something. They don't want no cameras in there. Don't want the news media bringing them cameras. But as I did today, I filed the open records request for all 3 trials. Today I served the county water commission and the head of security, which is the captain here, with a open records request. They got 3 days to give me copies of those court proceedings. That's
really why I came up here tonight, and so we can pretty near end it on that. I came back up here tonight because I wanted to record at night because I'm going to show look here, brother, I'm going to show where you served those papers. And I gotta ask this again. What make you do what you do, man?
Just in me, man. It's just this is my high. This is my crack cocaine, my alcohol. This is my drive. Fighting injustice. I don't make no lot of money at this. I don't make no money at it at all. I just love attacking injustice and letting these people know that they can't get away with everything they think.
One other thing just popped in my mind is this here. Many people, I'm sure, here in Valdosta have seen those cameras. Minister Robertson and myself have asked about those cameras. We see them throughout the courthouse. But very few people know whether they're working, whether they're recording, who's responsible for maintaining them, and if they can get copies of it, and if it is open to be seen by the general public, that you can acquire them through the Open Records Act. So what you did today is that you first you asked, explain to us, walk through where you first started asking about it, what happened.
Well, what I did is the first thing I asked the security was, those cameras in the courtroom working? He said yes. Every time there's a court hearing in the Lowndes County Courthouse, and in them courts, all the security, the cameras in the courtrooms are running. And I asked him, how would I get a copy? He said, man, I don't know. So he said, go talk to the supervisor. So I went and talked to the supervisor, the captain, I can forget his name. I talked to him, and he said the county board of commissioners was responsible for the tapes. So I went to see the county commissioners, and they told me that the sheriff department is responsible for the security on those tapes. So I got tired of the runaround, so I served both of them with an anthelium notice. I served him, not an anthelium notice, but a open records request to copies of those dates that the Kennedy Johnson family was here, and those dates with the when the Kennedy Johnson trials was going on, the Johnson family trials, on all 3 dates, 3 to 4 times we was here, and I served CC the copy to the Board of County Commissioners, so we can, because the county saying the Board of Commissioners saying it's the sheriff department, saying it's them, so I hit both of them, and they got 3 days to get them to them. And by the way, those tapes are public record. Any hearing that the public is allowed, then you have access, legal access to public records. That is not private.
But if you never bring it up, nobody would ever know. In fact, from what you are telling me, there's a great possibility that even the government entities don't know whose responsibility that it is, and if they do, maybe they don't want you to know, maybe they don't want the general public to know. But I'm determined to let the people know that when the founding fathers of this great republic said that this is a free, open, democratic society with the power to the people, and I served 21 years, and that when we was in the military, that's what they kept telling us. You are fighting for your freedom, your democracy. But it seems like a lot of things are closed. So I commend you for what you're doing. I'm gonna let you close after the sirens go by. Police go. What's your name?
My name is Reverend Jeffrey Benoit. I'm the president of the Clayton Henry chapter of the National Action Network and a candidate for the 2016 State Representative, District 76, which covers the Connolly, Fairview, Stockbridge, Forest Park, Rex and Morrow, and Rex, Georgia.
Because you call it National Action Network. Who's the founder of that organization?
The founder is Reverend Al Sharpton, who founded the National Action Network in 1991, so this is our 25th year.
First, I want to ask Bobby, what did you say that you saw the judge doing in the courtroom today?
Sleeping.
What did you say you saw him doing?
Sleeping.
Did you see him?
Oh, he was not. He was not, and at least 3 times that counted.
I heard several other people, and I want to be on camera, that you all saw that. Now, how?
The judge has proven that that he really don't want the cameras in the court. I mean, and I understand why, because the last trial he went to sleep 4 or 5 times, and this time he went to sleep 4 times, nodded on the bench. So I mean, no one is saying about it. Even when the media was there the last time, you was the only one who reported that the judge was asleep.